From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. I'll have a look at an all-day court hearing where a district judge took testimony on whether to continue blocking Montana's new rules for wolf hunting and trapping.
And this flu season getting off to a roaring start across the globe, and the U.S. no exception. Now it turns out over-the-counter medicines needed to fight the flu aren't in short supply. 6:34, see how that's hitting Montana families. Well, good morning and happy Tuesday, Southwest Montana. It is 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. Mother Nature fully in charge this morning. Temperatures
always
in that brisk range, to say the least, and a little snow in places as well.
We've had some light snow. It looks like it's all tapered off here at the station. There's probably a little bit of snow still out there. And unfortunately, the snow that we're seeing is not something that you're going to notice a lot of accumulation. But when you grind those tires into that snow, more ice.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic.
Right.
Bundle up on the way out the door. Not a lot of wind, but enough that we're seeing the sub-zero wind chill temperatures to start the morning. Here's a look at what we've got going on. Still a lot of snow and ice on the area roadways. That's on the Montana State University campus. I think our daytime highs may make it to the double digits as you go into the afternoon, and this is the cold day of the week. We have some frigid conditions over the course of the next 24 hours, but a warm up with some more snow. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Well, that, of course, coming from the patio.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
enjoy yourself
fun
out there. I'll be in here where it's about the same temperature.
Yes.
6:31, our top story this half hour. Yesterday, a Lewis and Clark County District Court heard arguments challenging a set of laws and regulations regarding wolf hunting and trapping. Earlier this month, a district judge issued a temporary restraining order reverting the state's wolf hunting and trapping laws to the 2020 regulations. That order set to expire at 5 p.m. Yesterday. It blocked wolf snaring and reducing wolf hunting and trapping quotas, especially in the areas near Yellowstone and Glacier National Parks. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian has the latest from the courtroom.
In a hearing at the Lewis and Clark County Courthouse on Monday, environmental groups and the state of Montana made their case as District Court Judge Chris Abbott considers whether to grant a preliminary injunction and continue blocking the state's new rules on wolf hunting and trapping.
The groups Wild Earth Guardians and Project Coyote sued last month, claiming the state hadn't done enough to justify increasing wolf harvesting. In 2021, the Montana legislature passed a series of bills directing expanded quotas and methods for hunting and trapping. The Fish and Wildlife Commission adopted regulations last year and this year that implemented the changes. The latest rules would have allowed 456 wolves to be taken statewide, including 6 in the area just outside Yellowstone National Park. Abbott's order earlier this month returned to the wolf management rules and quotas that existed prior to 2021. At Monday's hearing, the plaintiffs argued Montana's new population models may be overestimating the number of wolves, and that increased hunting and trapping could have significant impacts on the sustainability of the wolf population, especially around Yellowstone. They say the state should have to update its wolf management plan to take new science into account.
So that process would have held the state accountable to the broad public's interpretation and analysis of those of that data, of those management policies, of that methodology. And also during that process, the state would have needed to directly respond to public inquiry on these matters.
Witnesses for the state defended the updated model, saying they believed the previous methods had actually undercounted wolves in Montana.
We had some years, especially in northwest Montana, where the minimum counts, despite the fact that we were no longer even able to keep up with all the packs. The count of the number of packs was higher than the PROM estimate of the number of packs. So we had to correct for that fact.
In their written arguments, the state noted that this year's regulations include a stricter quota around Yellowstone than last year's, which had not been challenged.
Abbott was not expected to rule immediately after the end of this all-day hearing. His temporary restraining order was set to expire Tuesday at 5 p.m. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
6:34 and other headlines this morning. Flu season shows no signs of slowing down. Department of Health and Human Services says more than 11,000 people hospitalized for the flu last week. That's up from 8,700 a week earlier. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 11 out of every 100,000 have been hospitalized with the flu, which is the highest level in a decade. Medical experts expect a surge in cases after millions of people traveled for Thanksgiving and with Christmas just a few weeks away. Well, relief for your cold or cough or the flu may be hard to find right now, as many pharmacies are reporting severe shortages of cold and flu medications. TN's Charlie Kleps talked to a worried mom about finding medicine for her children.
Flu season has officially hit the state of Montana, and this year it's especially worrisome as certain medicines such as Tamiflu are in short supply. Visit just about any pharmacy in Billings and this is what you'll find. Empty shelves where flu and cold medicine is supposed to live.
We see this huge influx with the flu and there's never any meds when we need them.
Kanisha Beeman is both a mom and a teacher and knows firsthand just how important that medicine is this time of year.
We need them in school and I need my kids in school, so staying healthy is the most important thing.
But unfortunately right now, options for over-the-counter medications are difficult to find.
There's a nationwide shortage caused from delays in manufacturing, a very big uptick in need across the nation.
Farm 406 owner Kyle Austin has witnessed the dilemma firsthand.
Probably, once an hour we'll get a phone call for liquid amoxicillin for a kid, and we have to have that conversation with the doctor. Hey, this isn't available. What else is available?
A problem he projects will continue to take its toll throughout the most important part of the year, flu season.
They need the medication now if they get sick. The FDA has no turnaround time when this will be resolved.
Austin credits the problem to America being too reliant on foreign manufacturers, and it's led him to ask questions about the current system in place.
What do we do long term to make sure this doesn't happen again? Do we bring manufacturing back to the United States and we make these products here?
Farm 406 is still working to provide options for children by using adult capsules and compounding them. Although the process has become more time-consuming for the employees, Austin says it's well worth it.
If there's a sick kid that has an infection and you don't have access to the antibiotic, then that infection is going to get worse and worse.
There are preventative options as well. Beeman had just finished taking one of her children to get his flu shot.
We're being preventative so that we don't have to rely on getting meds.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
All right, in other news this morning, so many of us rely on daycares, but those facilities have changed since the pandemic. There's a new focus on teacher pay. That is a big part of what's driving up costs for parents. Elizabeth Ruiz looks at what child care experts say needs to happen to balance those costs and still address kids' needs.
When everything came to a screeching halt at the beginning of the pandemic, parents had no choice but to start in-home care. Ever since, child care facilities have been facing many changes and trials, trying to get back to pre-pandemic levels of children and staff. Sunset Academy is one of hundreds of thousands of child care facilities across the nation that hit a major roadblock at the start of the pandemic.
We went from actually being an enrollment of 120 students, which is full capacity, to 27 when we reopened.
Director Samantha Emmer says Sunset Academy reopened after 2 months, but with very few kids and teachers.
It has been really rough on child care providers. We did see some sites closing permanently after the pandemic. And right now what we're experiencing is more of a workforce shortage, crisis, if you will, around having enough qualified teachers to actually reopen classrooms or keep them open.
Happy Thanksgiving Day!
Emily Bustos leads Denver's Early Childhood Council, a nonprofit that is part of a national network called Child Care Aware of America.
We all work to do systemic change in early childhood as well as provide governmental grants, funding, coaching, and training to early learning providers.
She says the best way to attract teachers is to offer a living wage and career pathways to grow.
Can you tell me what shape this is?
That's exactly what Samantha says they had to do at Sunset Academy.
We would provide things like sign-on bonuses. We provided opportunity for staff to be able to reach their credential of becoming a lead teacher. If they reach that credential during a certain time period, we would give them another extra bonus. And so that would help us to retain them, and it would give them a solid job as well.
But paying teachers more means parents must pay more.
The cost of childcare was already unaffordable for many families, especially if they have more than one child. The pandemic has sort of increased that challenge in that there, again, are fewer teachers, but really there is a movement to pay them more of a living wage.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, child care providers made an average of $12.40 an hour in the year 2021. Emily says the industry needs more public investment.
I think in general, there's a broad need for recognition of early learning services as essential for working parents, and I think we need to engage with the business community.
Emily says incentive for well-trained educators is especially important due to kids returning with greater social emotional needs.
There's a lot more challenging behaviors that we're finding amongst the little ones. So just, being able to teach them and to show them positive ways of interacting with one another now, because they didn't have that. Some families had one child, no siblings, and that child was at home alone. They didn't learn those social emotional ways.
Samantha says there were a few benefits to the pandemic. It gave Sunset Academy an opportunity to restructure, and now they're working toward becoming an English-Spanish bilingual school. She says it also helped parents to feel more sympathetic toward providers after childcare was temporarily taken away.
It can be emotionally draining sometimes. Of course, it's very rewarding, but it is a lot. I think that they have a little bit of more appreciation, gratitude, and understanding at what early child care teachers really do.
In Denver, I'm Elizabeth Ruiz reporting.
All right, back here at home, the end of November means decorations for the holidays are underway. It also means a road closure downtown Bozeman. This morning, starting around 7:30, Main Street will be closed in order to get the spiders up at the intersection. City crews say they should be wrapped up around noon, but be prepared for detours around the holiday decoration work until then. A true sign of the holidays. Gotta love that. All right, 6:41, time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning.